Hi, amigas. Welcome back to another episode of the Daily Cafecito, the space that empowers you to become the best version of yourself, one sip at a time. What's up, you guys? Happy Monday. I hope you guys had such an amazing weekend. I am so excited to be filming this episode, you guys, because after my last episode that I uploaded, which I didn't even upload for you guys on audio form, but it is available on my YouTube channel if you guys want to go ahead and check it out, because I want this to really be the first official video of season 2 of the Daily Cafecito, especially for my audience that listens to me through audio platforms like podcast like Spotify, Apple Podcasts. I just didn't feel as connected in my last episode, if I'm being 100% real, raw, and honest. And I just kind of wanted a little redo, right? So I am drinking my cafecito, you guys. I slept in today. Yesterday I had such a busy day with really, really good meetings, which I'm going to tell you guys all about it. You guys, we are in October. This year is so close to being over, and I am just on a hustle grind mode. I feel like the past year, especially with me being pregnant, having my first baby, becoming a first-time mom, and going through postpartum and all of that, I really feel like that I took that time to slow down and not really prioritize my social media and my personal goals, which is all social media and my marketing agency and all of that. I feel like I really just put on the back burner to just really focus and soak in all of these new emotions, all of these new feelings, these new habits that I had to implement. So now I'm finally starting to feel like myself. My baby is almost 3 months old, you guys, in a week, and my breastfeeding journey is almost coming to an end. I decided from my last episode that you guys listened to that I wanted to continue because I feel like in my heart, if I was feeling so much guilt, and I always tell myself that if I'm feeling guilty, that means that there's something that I could do about it. So I decided to continue, keep working at it, and keep doing the whole breastfeeding thing. I'm like, there's no rush for me to get back to myself when my priority right now is my baby. So I'm almost at my 3-month goal, you guys, and I'm just so ready to just get back on grind mode and get back to a space where I can start working on myself again and kind of set myself aside from being a mom, but also really like nurture that part of me that is also me. That's Daisy. And it's not just being a mom, you know? Obviously, being a mom is my first priority, you guys. And I'm absolutely obsessed with being a mom. Like, it's truly crazy because I feel like as a woman, like, this is literally what my body, what my mind, and everything was created for. And I've never truly understood it until now that I've been through it. I'm like, wow, like, it just feels so natural to me. And it's so crazy. I feel like we're just diving right into here. But it's so crazy, you guys, because when I was pregnant, I feel like I had a really hard time like connecting to my baby in a way. And it's not like I didn't know he was there. Like, I would talk to him, you know, told him how much I loved him, like, but it's just not the same of when you have him out into the world, and it's like a way deeper and crazier connection. Like, now, you guys, I am obsessed with him. I feel like I truly didn't get to experience that like relationship or that type of connection when I was pregnant. And I think it's honestly because I was mourning who I was, and I honestly wanted to film I wanted to film an episode. Guys, I'm excited. I'm like over here talking super fast and I just had some coffee. But while I was pregnant, I really wanted to film an episode just kind of talking about where I had been at, because I feel like, honestly, you guys, my pregnancy was very hard because everything was super new to me. My whole life literally took a whole 360 change that I really did not expect. I was so used to, you know, like going out on the weekends, exploring on the weekends, and just doing things on a very fast pace. And when you're pregnant, you have to really force yourself to slow down, you guys, because your body is just not as equipped as it once was, which was fine for me because I had just started a new job, and, you know, that was really like my priority at the time, was doing a good job and getting really good at my job, and then, you know, being able to really like shift my focus onto other things. But it was really hard. It was really hard for me, and I feel like social media really, you know, focuses on the negative of pregnancy, because now looking back, you guys, I'm like, my pregnancy was so easy. A lot of the hardest part for me was like the mindset and like feeling like not myself. I really did not feel like myself. And again, it's normal because this is like a whole new side of me that I have, you know, never felt. I don't know who she is. So it's like now I'm at a stage in my life where I'm just starting to like rekindle my love for myself and really find my new passions and figure out this new sense of confidence, because obviously like now my body is different, my mindset is different, you guys, my habits are different. Like nothing is about me anymore, but it's about creating a life for my son. So it's a huge change, you guys. It's a huge change, a huge shift, but the amount of love that I have for this new life overcomes every single part of the negative. I am no longer in that space anymore where I felt like I just didn't know who I was. And honestly, I really feel like pregnancy truly prepared me for how much more slow paced my life was going to become. But it's still different, you guys. Now that I'm no longer pregnant, I feel like now it's been 3 months and I am starting to refine myself. I'm starting to fall in love with this new body that I'm in and fall in love with this person that I am becoming. And it's nice. It's nice to see because it's a huge change, you guys. My first 3 months of being with my baby, I really just soaked in every single moment with him. And I truly, truly appreciate that. And I'm so happy that I did that because I feel content. I feel fulfilled. And I didn't try to rush myself to get back to how I look, to get back to what I was doing, to get back into a routine that I had before I was pregnant. Because literally, you guys, the old me, we don't know her anymore, you know, and that's totally fine. I got so hung up on the idea of like that old me is dead. And in a way, I was grieving. Like I was grieving for that girl. But now I'm like, girl, like stop being dramatic. Like stop being dramatic. We're in a new phase of our lives. And honestly, everything truly, truly is about how you look at things, you guys. And that's why I think I'm so passionate about focusing on mental health and your mindset, because your mindset is truly, truly, truly a muscle. The more that you work at it and you try and be intentional about working on your mindset and just the way that you speak to yourself, the way that you go about life, all of that makes such a huge difference on how you face challenges. And like I said, this was probably one of the hardest challenges because it affected me very, very directly. Like it literally from one day to another, my life just completely changed. And even though now, like looking back, I'm like, damn, this girl really, really made herself miserable throughout her pregnancy. And that's not to say, you guys, that I was pregnant, that I was miserable throughout my entire pregnancy, but it definitely did, I feel like, make me pretty depressed, especially in the very, very beginning, you guys. I just felt like I couldn't do this. I'm like, there's no way I can do this. I'm not gonna like, I just didn't see the light at the end of the tunnel. And then again, now like looking back, I'm like, damn, like this poor girl was really, really going through it. But like now I feel like I've come across and I'm like on the other side now. And now I'm like looking back and I'm like, you know what? I want to make content that really speaks to who that girl was. Because I feel like if it wasn't for, you know, me being so strong-minded, I feel like that could have ended really, really bad, you guys, because I allowed myself to really soak in those feelings and sit in that moment and really feel it. But I didn't allow myself to cling on to it. I just kind of went about my day and I'm like, you know what? I'm taking this time to do everything a day at a time, and I'm not going to apply all these pressures that I used to apply on myself, like recording a podcast every single Sunday or, you know, sending out emails for the Daily Cafecito. It's like I did not apply any pressure to myself, and I'm like, you know what, right now it's not about the career, it's not about the businesses, it's not about my personal goals right now. It's about taking care of my health. I'm like, I need to be I need to be healthy, I need to be happy, I need to be in a good mindset, because I knew that everything that I was feeling was gonna go, you know, towards my baby. So I just really allowed myself to live in the moment. I didn't stress about anything. It was just a really, really good experience being pregnant, you guys, aside again from mourning my old self. And I truly have my husband to thank, because I feel like he made being pregnant for me so good. I always tell him, I'm like, you really allowed me to be a woman. Like he allowed me to really just soak in every single moment, you guys, and just truly fulfill myself in like what I was going through. So I will always be thankful for that, because honestly, if it wasn't for him, I feel like it would have been way, way different. And I truly, truly do not know how women do it by themselves, you guys, and how these piece of shit men can look at a woman who they have gotten pregnant and just not feel like any sort of empathy for them, like, or, you know, anything at all. And it's like, as a man, like I feel like stepping up, this is the moment I think really testifies of like, if a man is a man. Obviously a man is like meant to be a provider, but he's also a caretaker. Like in this moment, I was probably in my most vulnerable state, of course, like being pregnant, and this man really showed up, man. I told him, I'm like, honey, like whatever you want, like I will give it to you, man, because he literally took care of me so good. And I have to give him a little shout out because I'm like, I know that a lot of women are not as lucky to find men like this, you guys, but that's my man. I'm like, that's my man. He did that all for me, and I'm going to make sure my son knows what an amazing dad he has. Speaking of that, he is downstairs with Anthony right now. So it's so nice. I don't know. It's just amazing, you guys. I truly feel like the men that you have in your life or that you're having a baby with is so important, because that also is going to dictate like how your motherhood journey goes, how your postpartum goes. At least that's how I feel, because I had a really good experience, and I truly feel like if I had to do it alone, or if I didn't feel his support, it would have gone completely different, you guys. But anyways, on the stage that I'm at now, I am just so ready to grind. I'm so ready to like work my ass off. Obviously, of course, always keeping my son as a priority, keeping my relationship, my marriage as a priority. But I'm just ready. Like, I'm just ready to tackle back down on, filming episodes for you guys, working on my marketing agency, me and my girl Tiffany, which you guys know, she's the co-founder of Empowered Social Co., which is my social media marketing agency. You guys, we closed on one client. We had another consultation yesterday. Like, we have just been going ham, and I want to talk a little bit about my dreams and my goals kind of like moving forward and what I want to do, because I posted a video on Friday on TikTok. I dropped off my son at my mom's because she's taking care of him while I'm going back to work, and it was honestly really hard for me. And I posted a video of just kind of how I was feeling, because I low-key felt a little bit depressed. Like, I would love to be at home with my son, and I would love to be able to really soak in these moments with him. And I got a comment that somebody was like, this is why you don't marry a 50-50 man. And I was like, what makes you think that it's him that's forcing me to go back to work, And I kind of want to touch on that a little bit, because I think now that I am a mom, like, as much as I would love to stay at home with my son, and trust me, I still think about it, and it's still something that I'm driving and striving to become, but not all the way. My job right now, you guys, it gives us so many luxuries that I think about, because I'm like, growing up, my mom did this as a single mom. Obviously, my dad was there for a little bit, but that's a whole different story that I just want to keep personal for right now. But for the most part, my mom did it on her own. And I think that drive has always been instilled in me since I was a young girl. Like, you hustle for your own shit. Like, as of till now, you guys, like, me and my husband, we have separate bank accounts. Like, I have just always been very independent. And, my husband loves that. Like, I feel like that works best for us, is having everything separate. And, it's nice, because it's like, if I want to buy him a gift, I buy it with my own money, things that I work for. And, obviously my husband is a provider. Like, he's literally the sole provider, you guys. Everything that I make is just extra income. But again, it's like our luxury income. It's like the income that allows us to take vacations, to buy whatever we want. And I always think of like the access that this extra income brings me, especially now as a mom. I'm like, I love dressing my son up. I love buying him things, like, and I know once he gets a little bit older, I would love to take him on little vacations and just things that I feel like are going to be like really big core memories, that a lot of the times, like, only being financially stable or just, having like the right budget is going to allow for me to achieve that for him. So with that being said, I just wanted to kind of throw it out there, you guys, because I feel like sometimes it's a lot of pressure for a woman to go back to work, especially after having a baby, of not to go back to work and to really soak in the moment. So I've been really trying to like balance that out and figure it out, you guys. I would love to quit my job and do this full time. So support me if you guys like my videos. Only support me if you love my videos, you guys. If you don't, I completely understand. Move on ahead. But my marketing agency, I want that to be a full-time thing. And it's like, that's with me and my partner, we are working so hard, you guys. We have been grinding on this marketing agency to just get enough clients for us to really be able to take this on full time, manage our own schedules. And it's not that I don't want to work, you guys, and be a stay-at-home mom, because I could not be a stay-at-home mom and let that be like my only thing that I focus my energy on. It's just not who I am. Like, inside of me, like, I have a little bit of an inner Kim K that just loves to work. I just love setting goals for myself. I am someone who always likes to better myself, health-wise, mentally-wise, career-wise, money-wise, like all these things. I don't want to lose that part of myself, because that's who I am, So I'm just trying to figure out how I can balance everything, because first, I am a mom, and that is going to be like my number one priority always. And I want to be there for my son. I want to be there for all of these moments. I want to be there for all of his little like milestones and stuff, because it's just amazing to see. So I'm like, to me, I am sacrificing these next few months to really hustle and really grind and work on my business, you guys, and allow it to really grow so that it can become a steady income for me and my partner. And that's where I'm at, you guys. We're on hustle mode. I'm just ready to get my body back together. Like, I'm just so fucking ready, you guys. Like, I have not felt this motivated and this inspired in a very, very long time. And I think being pregnant, all of the emotions that you go through is crazy. Like, it is so crazy. It literally made me lose sight of who I was. And it was so hard to focus on who I was becoming, because I knew that the pregnancy was temporary. And after that, it was like a whole separate version of myself. It's like this short amount of time of being pregnant for like almost 10 months. But you know that you can't really instill new habits, because quickly after you give birth, you're going to be a whole different person again. So it's like all of these different changes that you have to go through. And it's a challenge, you guys. And it's a challenge. But that's why it's so important to build all of these good foundations as far as your mindset, so that when you do come to these challenges, they're easier to overcome and you're able to manage them a lot better. Because it's not always about like, always being positive or just always knowing what to do next, because that's not always the case. It's just learning how to manage it. How do you sit here, really allow yourself to feel these feelings and then move on, but not allow yourself to think too much and not allow yourself to really soak in all of those thoughts. I think I was watching an episode of Sex and the City the other day, and Samantha actually says something about like, don't listen to, like, imagine if you listened to every single thought that came across your head, like, we would go crazy. And that is completely true, you guys. Not every single thought that you get in your head is meant for you to listen to it. Sometimes it's just things that are in your subconscious that are just trying to either guide you in whichever way direction. But that doesn't mean we have to listen to everything that our brain is telling us, you guys. We are in control. Our heart is in control. Our subconscious is in control. That's why it's so important to really figure out, what are your triggers? What are the things that really make you think, that make you react, that make you, what emotion or what triggers what emotion in you, what inspires you, what motivates you, what makes you happy, what makes you sad. And I feel like the more that you dig deep into these emotions and figure out every single cause of them, the better it is for you, you guys, because the more that you can go through your life and your day-to-day basis and really be able to have control of who you are and who you're becoming. And that's how I am right now. I'm like, I am going to take control of the things that I can control. And I'm no longer making excuses. Like, now it's like disciplined area. Girl, disciplined area. Yeah, let me take a sip of coffee. I get too passionate que se me olvidan las palabras. But anyways, so now moving forward, I am very much a very disciplined girly. Okay, we are disciplined. I'm gonna put it big ass right here on the screen if you're watching this on YouTube. But that's just where I'm at. I'm just so ready to grind and just ready to stop making excuses. Like, I know my worth. I know what a smart girl I am. I know my passions. I know how much potential I have, and I'm just ready to step into it. Like, I'm only surrounding myself with things that inspire me, things that motivate me, that educate me, that make me want to be better. That's where I'm at. I feel like becoming a mom has really shifted me and who I am. I almost feel a little more mature. That's why I kind of changed the branding of the Daily Cafecito, because I wanted just something that really sparks my inner, bad bitch, my inner classy woman, my inner Anthony was actually cracking up at me the other day, because I was telling him about my brand. Like, I was painting the vision for him. I'm like, I want it to be very classy, like more mature. Like, that's just who I am right now, And he's like, so no more listening to Meg Thee Stallion, no more listening to Lotto. And I'm like, okay, slow down. Slow down there. Like, I'm still gonna have a little bit of ratchet in me, but I, like, for the most part, like, that's gonna be, there has to be a balance, right? That's a whole thing with like yin and yang, you guys. I could be classy, but I can also be ratchet. I could be a mom, but I can also be throwing my ass in the middle of a club, Not to say that I'm gonna go and do that right now, which I'm not. But my main priority is to really nurture that classy, that motivated, that disciplined side. And we're gonna do that. I'm gonna share with you guys a little bit about how I'm gonna do that. Number one thing that I'm going to start doing is really implementing a schedule and sticking to it, right? So Every single morning, you guys, now that I'm going back to work, I feel like I'm slowly starting to figure out a new routine for myself. But one thing that I have noticed that has really helped me stick to a schedule is to save myself time. So for example, like today, instead of us going grocery shopping, I decided to order everything online for pickup. That saved me about 2 hours of walking through a freaking grocery store, where it actually allowed me to film this podcast for you guys. So time management is such a big thing, as well as getting onto a schedule, you guys, because they go hand in hand. Figure out ways in your life that you can really, either hire someone to do it, pay someone to do it, or for example, like the grocery thing. If you can order your groceries online, that's going to save you 2 hours. Go for it, girl, because then you have 2 more hours back to you that you can be able to do for some, you can use that time to do something else. So for example, my time that I was going to use to go and grocery shop, now I am dedicating it to film this podcast episode for you guys. So it's really about looking into your life. And guys, you can even use ChatGPT for this. I want to make a whole video of how I use ChatGPT to my advantage, because literally if you just go onto ChatGPT and you ask it, give it a whole rundown of what your weekly day looks like. What does your weekday look like? What does your weekend look like? And then ask it, how can I save myself time? How can I create a schedule? What are your priorities? My priority is to spend some time with my son, spend some time with my husband, but also do a good job at work, and also dedicate a little bit of time into my businesses. It'll literally break down what you should and shouldn't do, you guys. And I think that's a really big, useful source. Honestly, ChatGPT is going to change the world, especially when it comes to health and wellness, which I'm actually so excited about because I use it a lot, believe it or not. And I just love that it just kind of, pieces my thoughts together, because sometimes we get so caught up in our own brain that we just wish that we can speak to someone. And this is kind of like looking for outside validation, but not really, because you're not considering anyone else's emotions. You're putting in your own emotions into this artificial intelligence thing, and it's going to just pretty much rewire what you're already thinking, but give you something that you can execute and something that you can move forward with, if that makes sense. So highly recommend that you guys try that out. But yeah, so making sure that you're managing your time well enough and saving yourself time where you can, so that you can use that time into things that really matter to you. Another thing is, I love to get ready for work every single morning. I love to, look good, because I feel like if I look good, I perform good, and then that causes me to get raises like I did before when I'm maternity leave. So with that being said, I do things that really help maximize my time. Like I do the little lash extensions. I'll make sure that my hair is clean or has dry shampoo in it. So in the morning, I just have to, curl it, whatever the case may be. I set my outfit aside for work the night before. I pack my lunch the night before, you guys. So that way in the morning when I wake up, I can dedicate some time to my son, or even make my cafecito in the morning and just take my time to do that, to just be able to allow myself to do things that truly matter to me and make me happy. My goal is to always perform at a high vibrancy, which I know is not always the case. It's not like a perfect world, but for the most part, that's where I want to be. I want to be a very high vibrant woman who's motivated, inspired, and just doesn't take shit from anyone, which actually leads me to the next thing. One thing that I'm also doing, you guys, is I'm no longer listening to outside opinions. Like, other people don't matter to me. And honestly, I feel like that was also a big heartbreak during pregnancy, because you start to really realize how many friends you lose and are not there for you, and were only there for you for that stage in your life, which is totally fine. Like, it's perfectly fine. I went through the whole phase of like, damn, like this person hasn't reached out to me. Whatever, I went through it, whatever, let it go. Now it's not my number one thing that I'm clinging on to, because it's not important to me anymore. I'm like, if you don't want to be in my life, so be it, girl. Like, I have so many other goals and so many other things that really truly enlighten me, that I'm no longer caring about these friendships that are a waste of my time. So it's like, if you're going to look for me, I'm going to look for you. And I have a few really handful of friends, you guys, that do look out for me, and I look out for them. And it's just amazing. It's like those friends that you don't have to hang out with them every single day, but are always there. And honestly, I have literally, guys, my friends that I do have now that have stuck through me while being pregnant and now becoming a mom are freaking amazing. So this actually leads me to my next thing. I was listening to a Jay Shetty podcast the other day, and I forgot which doctor he was interviewing, but he was really talking about how you should really nurture your relationships in your life. But you also have to make sure that you're nurturing the correct relationships. And it's so basic, you guys, but sending your friends, let's just say you take like 5 minutes in the morning to text your three girls, like your three friends that you have that are super close, and just text them good morning, give them a little motivational text in the morning. And you don't know how much of a difference that makes in someone's day, but it also gives you your dose of oxytocin because it allows you to feel like you did something good first thing in the morning. I actually, one of my friends the other day, and I was actually going to text her about this, which I haven't, and I should. She texted me just to say good morning because it was like my first day back at work, and she sent me a picture of her daughter and just like the cutest text message, but it's like something so simple literally triggered my, my happiness and more like at ease emotion, which made me feel so much better. So Leslie, if you're watching this, my girl, that honestly made my whole entire morning. So you guys, this is your sign to really focus on your relationships, nurture those relationships, and really take them serious, you guys, because the people that do belong in your life and the people that do care to be in your life and deserve to be there should be taken care of. And it goes vice versa. Be a good friend and your friends would be good friends to you. So with that being said, you guys, I feel like we're extending this episode a little bit longer. I do have a lot more to say, but I want to save it for my following podcast. But I hope you guys really enjoyed everything that I had to say on here. I just really wanted to share with you guys where I'm at, where I'm headed, who this new version of me is becoming. If you guys care at all, by the way, these glasses are from Fashion Nova. I just got them on an order and they're so freaking cute. And then I got this shirt from Forever 21 the other day, which is actually really cute, you guys, because I had to order a lot of stuff, which I did place a big order on Fashion Nova because a lot of my clothes do not fit me. So we are rebuilding this wardrobe. And then I'm also wearing my Giorgio Armani C perfume, you guys. I am obsessed. I wish you guys could smell it. Smell it real quick. It smells so good. I feel like this one, let me spray it. This one is just so clean. Like, very everyday wear because it's super clean, very soft. It's not really like empalagoso at all. It's just very, very clean. And then for our cafecito, we're drinking a honey latte, which I've been sharing on my Instagram and TikTok. If you guys haven't been on there, I have been obsessed with it, you guys. It's literally just oat milk, a little bit of honey, and my espresso. So super, super yummy. But yeah, you guys, that's all I have for today's episode. I hope you guys enjoyed and I hope you guys have such an amazing week. And I really hope that this sets a good tone for your morning, for your Monday, for the rest of your week. Just remember, you guys, you are a badass. You can achieve anything that you want. And I hope you girls know that all of my episodes, I hope you girls know that I hope that all of my episodes resonate with you, whether you're pregnant or not, whether you're a mom or not. I want this to always be a platform that you can relate to me on. This is just a stage that I am in my life right now. So I want to share that and I want to be open and vulnerable about that. So yeah, you guys, make sure you guys leave me a rating wherever you're listening to this podcast on. And if you enjoyed this episode, please leave me a comment and a like. If you're watching this on YouTube, make sure to subscribe. And I will catch you guys on next week's episode. Adios, amigas.